If you're watching this video, you've probably been suffering from pain, depression, living in despair and darkness for quite some time. And the fact that you clicked on this video, recognize that you've just taken the first courageous step towards understanding what you need to do to start living a wonderful life again. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you what led me to the realization of a very important, probably the most important action that you must take in your life that's going to decide whether you continue to suffer or start thriving again in your own life. For many of us who get stuck in cycles of depression, pain, and suffering, being stuck in darkness for long periods of time, a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're trying to deal with intense emotions that usually come from major life events that happen in our life. It could be the loss of a job, or even the loss of a beloved family member. It could even come from a major breakup, someone you've been with and spent time with for a long period of time. In my case, it was a divorce, being married to someone and having kids with them for over 10 years. Anytime you go through any kind of major life event like that, it brings on very intense emotions that are very difficult at times to deal with. And some of us deal with it better than others. Some tend to try to ignore it. Some try to use ways and substances to try to suppress it. And some of us just let it overwhelm us and keep us stuck in this place for a long period of time. And that was definitely the case for me when I went through my divorce. I was very angry at the whole situation, that and the way that it unfolded and the position that it left me in, now being a single dad. I was angry at the government and the court system because of the unfair divorce laws in our country and the unfair calculators that they use to determine what amount of spousal support and child support I have to pay to my ex. I was also angry at just this negative stigma that I've now adopted being a single parent with kids in society, trying to date women again. You know, that negative stigma that we have baggage and that we're low value and that we're not going to be a good catch for women. The list can go on and on. And I was very angry for a long period of time. And I'm so grateful that I have a very strong supporting cast, my family, my parents, my best friends, and especially my brother. He was someone that I would always call to share what I was feeling, to vent. He was always great at listening and helping me get through some of these tough times. And one day, when I called him, there was one particular thing that triggered me where I was just absolutely frustrated at my ex and my situation, and was just going on a rant of how unfair life is and why am I suffering so much when she gets to live this wonderful life. And he told me, Roland, let me ask you something. Do you like feeling depressed? Do you like feeling this way? And that caught me off guard. And I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, I understand that what you're going through is tough, but like every time you call me and you're venting, it's like, it seems like you like being stuck in this place where you're feeling sorry for yourself. You're just angry at everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, you've taken steps to improve your life, but for whatever reason in your mind, you still think that you're at a disadvantage when you're not. And that's when it really hit me. At that point, when my brother said that to me, I was already going to the gym, working out. I was already achieving results there. I had a great job, a new job where I was making more money than I ever expected before. I was already dating women, and even at that time, dating a wonderful woman that I've had awesome experiences with. And yet in my mind, I still felt like I was a victim to my circumstances and to my situation. And that's when I realized that I was choosing to be the victim of my story instead of actually taking a look and seeing that I'm actually the hero of my story. And when I look back at the number of times when I got stuck in depressive cycles, where I felt sorry for myself, where I felt a lot of pain and misery and found it very difficult to get out of that state, it was because I was allowing myself to be the victim in my own story. And what shocked me the most about my whole situation, getting stuck in my own pity party, drowning in my own sorrows and despair, was the realization that it was easier to play the role of the victim in my life versus being the hero. It's easier to blame others, blame your external factors as to why you're in the current situation that you're in, versus taking accountability, accepting the situation you're in, and then taking courageous action to make the change that you want to see in your whole life. And that was the biggest realization going through that whole experience, is that when I was thinking that why isn't someone coming to save me? I was actually the person who was supposed to save me all along. So when you're stuck in these cycles of despair, it's okay to be vulnerable, to feel those emotions. Like I said, you can't suppress them. You need to let those emotions pass its course. And we need to feel them, because it's the only way that we can experience true happiness and true joy, the highs in life, is we need to feel those lows. It's one of the reasons why, as human beings, we have emotions. We're built to feel every single range from the lowest to the highest. And when you're at that low, you're not going to be there forever. However, the most important action that you must take in your life, and this is the most important action you need to realize, is that you need to choose to either be the hero or the victim in your life. And when you realize that you are absolutely the hero in your life, that's when everything else changes. You start waking up every single day ready to face life's challenges. You know that it's not going to get easier, and you know that you're going to continue making mistakes, but you have the mindset that you need to now be able to embrace those mistakes, take the lessons, and continue improving yourself. That was the biggest catalyst for me, having that conversation with my brother and making that realization that I have to now choose to be the hero or the victim. Now, if there's one saving grace that really helped me throughout this whole process, it's having my fitness journey, working on my body. When I first went through my divorce, the best decision that I ever made for myself was signing up for a gym membership. And the reason why this was a catalyst for me, why it was so important, and what helped me get through this, isn't because it helped me in terms of getting a better physique, getting stronger again, but health is wealth. And when you are healthy, when you don't have any ailments, when you have the strength and the energy to pursue in life, every day that you wake up is another second chance. It's another fresh start for you to start working on what you need to do to improve your life. And just as an example, a couple of years ago, my dad was diagnosed with stage 3 bowel cancer. We went through a horrendous affair getting him from the Philippines back to Canada to see an oncologist, to get him onto chemotherapy. You know, seeing him deteriorate over the past couple of years going through chemo, seeing the loss of his hair, seeing his body get frail, seeing his inability to do a lot of the things that he used to love, absolutely crushed all of us in the family, but also highlighted the importance of health, because if you don't have your health, you can't continue to move your life forward in a meaningful way. You have limited capacity and limited opportunities to thrive again in life. And my poor dad, at one point, he wanted to go on this wonderful hike that I was planning with my mom and my brother. And, you know, he said, like, well, no, we'll just take our time. I'm like, Dad, like, I had to give him the heartbreaking message that you won't be able to do this trail. It's too hard for you. And so just in saying that, it made me also realize why health is so important. And it's not just for the physical benefits and the mental health, but again, it gives you what you need in order to continue living on in life and having those second chances to thrive again. So the easiest way to start working on your health is to first determine what type of activity you're going to do. And number 2, most importantly, start with baby steps. For example, when I first started at the gym, I was intimidated to go in the weight room because of all of the good-looking, the muscular people there. I was so out of shape. So I started to go in the cardio room at least 2 times a week, and then eventually scaled up to 3 times a week. You want to start setting goals for yourself with health that are small enough to be accomplished. It's enough to stretch you a bit out of your comfort zone, but not so far out that when you fail, you feel miserable and defeated and you won't want to try again. So choose something that's easy to medium difficulty at the beginning. Number two, most importantly, if you are staying active, the second most important part is watch your diet, clean up your diet, eat as much whole foods as you can, and get as much rest and water as you need to. At least 8 hours of sleep if you can, and drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. Hydration does wonders for the body and also when losing fat. But again, keep it simple. Start with small steps and slowly increase from there. And once you start building your health and you make the choice to be the hero in your journey, and that you are no longer victim to your circumstances and that you have the strength to control your life again, you will be amazed at how quickly you'll start feeling that you're thriving again in life, and you'll wake up every single day excited to face on life's challenges. So I hope this video finds you at the right time. Thanks again for all your love and support, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.